Hi there, everybody. This is Lee. And I'm talking once again as a follow up about the progressive organizations, the Our Revolution, the Justice Democrats, the Brand New Congress, Progressive Independent Party. They all have a goal to target the Congress, to overturn the Congress from the incumbents, the Democrats, the Republicans, and some independents that they plan to run. Some of these organizations are open to running centrist Democrats, moderate Democrats, corporate Democrats. Some of these organizations are open to running Democrats only. Others plan to run Republicans, and then maybe the occasional independent. And then the Progressive Independent Party seems open to third parties, running third party candidates. And then also independents, write-ins, things like that. Very fluid. I looked at all of these groups and I did decide that it's likely that I will remain a supporter of the Green Party, the machine that's already been established and is in place since 1984 to run candidates for office, progressive candidates. They have a structure that's working. It has been working to send candidates into office at the down ballot level. They put people into office with this past election, and there's candidates running in 2017, and I'm sure that they're lining up their roster for 2018 too, as well, the big dance. So, looking at all the machines that exist, or most of them, I mean, because even the coalitions that have sprung up as a direct result of Bernie Sanders' primary run in 2016 that seem kind of focused on maintaining the duopoly, which is Our Revolution, and then the Brand New Congress and the Justice Democrats, that there are alternative machines. For instance, Socialist Alternative has a machine to put candidates into office, Peace and Freedom. There are all alternative groups that are working to get people into office. But my preference is for the Green Party. Um, and I looked at the Green Party's website and I noticed that there are a lot of documents there that explain how their machine works, their party organizing. They've got structures in place. There's a link here that I'll put in the description, and it's under organizing tools. And so I'll post a link to that. There's also a link to a page, what every Green candidate should know, and all kinds of information there, going from why run, volunteers, fundraising, budgeting, platform, website, endorsements, media, things like that. Basically, everything every candidate should know, but definitely for what a Green Party candidate should know. Also, there's a large manual that's available. It's Green Party Candidate Recruiting Manual. It was written in 2004, but I looked through it and it still seems to apply. What are your goals? Winning local office, education, ballot access, how to challenge an incumbent, issues, things like this, and how to assess the political climate in your district. Um, Things like this, and I would go through it, but it's just so long. But they're naming off positions like school board, community college board, rent control board, planning commission, conservation district, water board, fire conservation, transit board, board of appeals, soil and water, all kinds of positions that are open and available. Parks commission, parks and recreation. There's been some wins and mayoral races, and there are about at least 20 large cities that have open mayoral contests in 2017. So besides the special elections, besides the the down ballot races in Virginia and New Jersey, there are a lot of large cities that have open mayoral positions. So there's lots going on. And so there's even a process manual for how to run local Green Party meetings, and then how to, let's see, what's the next one? Scrolling. And how to run a campaign. It's an actual Green Party campaign manual. So there's no shortage of information. There's a machine already in place. There's a national party. There's local chapters that are still being formed. For instance, I know in Georgia there's the Atlanta chapter, and then there's been the establishment of a Savannah chapter. So there's expansion of the state parties. The word has gotten out about the Green Party, and more people are signing on to what the Green Party is about. And so there's all sorts of information here for people who are interested, that wish to operate outside the two-party system, based on what they've seen from the two parties during the 2016 election, that they want to go a third way. Some may want to run as independents or other third parties or as write-in candidates. But then definitely here's the machine that's established already with the Green Party, where if you do want to do that, you won't be alone. There are people that you can talk to. There are documents that you can use to assess your viability. Or if you're actually running someone's campaign, like you're the organizer of someone else's campaign, there's definitely information here. And so I mentioned that there are Greens running for office in 2017. There's Kenneth Mejia, who's running for Congress in the 34th District of Los Angeles, California. He's got his election date April 4, 2017. He ran as a write-in candidate in 2016, and then now he's a Green Party candidate. And so he's built up a lot of experience. He has a huge network. His social media is on point. He's got a message. He's got a community presence. And I'm wishing him very well in California. I can't wait till he enters office and starts voting on a national level. I'm really looking forward to that. Only good things. There's also Jonathan McFarland, who's running for mayor of St. Louis. And his election date is April 4th. And so is Kenneth Mejia's. His election date is April 4th. So Jonathan McFarland had been working with homeless issues in St. Louis, showing compassion for people undergoing economic struggles. And so he is running for mayor in St. Louis. And so that's one of the major cities that I mentioned that have open contests. And so if you are in one of those cities, look around and see if Green is on the ballot in that area, and maybe consider throwing your hat into the ring. There's also Seth Caperdale, who's running for governor. He lives in Highland Park, New Jersey. His election date is November 7th, 2017. And so Seth Caperdale comes from a religious background. He's a Reformed Christian minister. And so he said that he feels that the Green Party best represents his values as a Christian. And, you know, I can see it very clearly why he would say that, because certainly in terms of the environment, it's very clearly outlined in the book of Genesis that man was sent here to be a caretaker of planet Earth, a steward. And so, you know, it's the connection is kind of clear. And then there are other issues too. Then you've got Cherie Honkala, who's running for state representative in Philadelphia, the 197th district. Her election date is March 21st, 2017. This is in Pennsylvania. And so that's at least 4 Greens that have announced their candidacies for 2017. Likely there will be more, and I certainly hope that there will be. If you have interest in contesting seats for 2017, there may be some additional seats opening at the congressional level, depending on who gets confirmed into Donald Trump's cabinet that will decide whether special elections are set, or other events occur. So best to go to your own individual state's either Board of Elections website or state party website and see whether that's possible. Jill Stein provided an excellent example of how to conduct a campaign on a shoestring, how to get the most bang for the buck when it comes to media and interviews and groups, meetings and rallies and things like that. So there are structures in place. There are role models to look at. There's also campaign materials here, organizing materials. And so I wish everyone the best that wishes to consider this, and that despite the fact that there's been a lot of gaslighting, I would say it's a continuance of the correct the record trolling that occurred throughout the 2016 election that was so damaging to the psyche of voters, so demoralizing. That it's still continuing, and that it's been certain progressive groups that have been co-opted into doing that dirty work, into maintaining the duopoly of the Tea Party structure. That it is possible to defy that, and also recognize that Bernie Sanders is probably the very best example of an independent candidate outside the Tea Party duopoly who successfully ran for several offices and won. He's got 32 years worth of political experience as an independent, campaign after campaign after campaign, as mayor, as a member of the United States House, and as a member of the Senate. He ran as an independent and he won his offices most of the time, 32 years worth of winning offices as an independent candidate. And so he's won his Senate seat twice as an independent. He's up for election again in 2018. Likely he is going to win. Someone with an 82% approval rating likely will win his office. And so it is possible to do that. He's not the only one. There are other independents in the Senate, in the House, and there are independent governors. And so some people keep saying it can't be done, and we keep seeing that it has been done, and that therefore it can be done. It's not so easy, but it's not impossible either. And so keep your heads up, keep your eyes focused. Also recognize that there are people working very hard to make things easier for future campaigns, either third party or independent. Specifically, Jill Stein of the Green Party, Gary Johnson of the Libertarian Party, Rocky De La Fuente, who was a Democratic candidate who went independent. They have been on a rampage all across the United States, and state after state after state, filing court challenges on ballot access, debate access, media access, petitioning guidelines, all kinds of ways that they are opening up the system to third party and independent challengers. And then also that some state legislatures are considering bills to open up their primaries, and not only that, to actually open up their voting systems to instant runoff voting, ranked choice voting. So things are happening right now, today, in the state legislatures, in the courtrooms, in the effort to send candidates into office. So things are changing. It's a little bit under the radar, but the system is being reformed little by little. It does take a lot of work, and that there are people who want to work against that. But you have to kind of decide what you want to do. And I'll just post those links in the description for people to follow, and they can make up their own minds, I think. Good luck.